When your best friend is getting married, you'd expect to be in the loop about everything. The dress, the venue, maybe even help pick out flowers. But what if the bride is Taylor Swift, and she's keeping literally everything under wraps? And the person left completely in the dark? Her best friend of over a decade, Selena Gomez. The same Selena who just went through her own wedding, who's been by Taylor's side through everything, doesn't know a single major detail about what's supposed to be the wedding of the century. According to insiders who spoke with celebrity reporter Rob Shooter, Taylor has made a decision that's raising eyebrows across Hollywood. Only 3 people on planet Earth know the complete picture. Taylor herself, her fiancé Travis Kelce, and her parents. That's it. Not her publicist, not her management team, not even her longtime band members who've been with her for years. One source revealed that Taylor wants the wedding to feel intimate and controlled, with absolutely no room for leaks or unexpected media attention. The plan is for everyone, including her closest friends, to find out the details at exactly the same time. It's like she's coordinating a surprise album drop, except this time it's her entire wedding day. But why would someone go to such extreme lengths? Taylor Swift is one of the most photographed people on the planet. Every move she makes becomes a headline within minutes. Every outfit gets analyzed by fashion critics. Every lyric she writes gets dissected for hidden meanings. For someone who's spent nearly 2 decades in the spotlight, having her wedding day become a media circus is probably her worst nightmare. Think about past celebrity weddings that turned into paparazzi nightmares, with helicopters flying overhead and photographers hiding in bushes. Taylor's seen it all happen to other celebrities, and she's determined not to let that be her story. The insider explained that Taylor wants no leaks and no surprises, period. She's treating this event like a top-secret project, and, honestly, when you consider the level of fame she's dealing with, can you blame her? The security measures are next level. Reports suggest that venues connected to the celebration are operating under strict non-disclosure agreements. We're not talking about casual requests to keep things quiet. These are legally binding documents with serious consequences. Any breach of privacy could result in Taylor making last-minute changes to everything. Imagine being a florist or caterer and being told that one Instagram story, one casual mention to a friend, could mean losing the biggest job of your career and facing legal action. Every vendor, every staff member, everyone who even breathes near this wedding is bound by legal contracts that would make them think twice before mentioning it to anyone. Some sources even claim that fake wedding dates and venues are being floated around intentionally to throw people off the real trail. That's some serious strategic planning right there. Now here's where things get really interesting. There have been reports that Taylor has already set a date, June 13, 2026. And if you know anything about Taylor, you know why that date matters. The number 13 is practically her brand at this point. She was born on the 13th, turned 13 on Friday the 13th, and her first album went gold in 13 weeks. She writes it on her hand before performances. Fans have entire theories about how she incorporates the number into everything she does. So a June 13th wedding makes perfect sense. But here's the crazy part that sounds like something out of a movie. According to Page 6, when Taylor found out another couple had already booked the Ocean House in Watch Hill, Rhode Island for that exact date, she allegedly made them an offer they couldn't refuse to move their wedding. We're talking about a substantial payment, possibly 6 figures, just to secure that specific date. That's the level of commitment to her lucky number we're dealing with here. The Ocean House is this gorgeous Victorian-style hotel in Rhode Island, right near Taylor's holiday home. Taylor and Travis have spent plenty of time there together, so it holds sentimental value. But hold that thought, because the plot thickens. More recent reports suggest that Taylor and Travis might be having second thoughts about Rhode Island altogether. Their guest list keeps growing, and what started as an intimate affair is turning into something much bigger. They're now considering alternatives like Blackberry Farm in Tennessee or even private island weddings, with Richard Branson's Necker Island topping the list. Here's the ironic twist that nobody saw coming and has social media buzzing. Selena Gomez just got married herself back in September 2025 to music producer Benny Blanco. It was this beautiful 3-day celebration in Santa Barbara, and guess who was there? Taylor Swift. Not only was she there, but sources say she gave an emotional speech at the reception that had people reaching for tissues. We're talking about a speech filled with inside jokes, childhood memories, and stories that only a best friend of over a decade would know. Taylor was fully present for one of the most important days of Selena's life. She helped her get ready. She was there for the rehearsal dinner. She celebrated every single moment. Now the tables have completely turned, and Selena finds herself on the outside looking in when it comes to Taylor's big day. The role reversal is almost poetic in a strange way. You'd think that after just going through her own wedding, Selena would be Taylor's go-to person for advice. And according to sources, Selena has been trying to help. She's offered advice from her recent experience, sharing what worked and what she'd do differently. But when it comes to the actual details of Taylor's wedding, Selena's getting the same vague hints as everyone else. One source stated that even Taylor's closest friends are only getting hints, not confirmations. Taylor is extremely careful about privacy and wants everything to be perfect. But Selena isn't completely shut out. There's one area where she's very involved, and that's the bachelorette party planning. Sources revealed that Selena, along with Gigi Hadid and other members of Taylor's bridal party, has been heavily involved in planning pre-wedding festivities. The group has been discussing multiple trips to destinations like New York, Nashville, Italy, and the Bahamas. These aren't just casual conversations either. They're coordinating through phone calls and group messages, planning what sounds like an epic series of celebrations. New York for Broadway shows and high-end shopping, Nashville for honky-tonk bars and Taylor's country roots, Italy for wine tastings and romantic scenery, and the Bahamas for beach parties and tropical vibes. So Selena gets to help plan all the fun parties and celebrations. She just doesn't get to know anything about the actual wedding ceremony itself. It's like being asked to plan the appetizers, but not being told what the main course is. Sources told People that when it comes to wedding planning, both Taylor and Travis are equally involved and excited. They're approaching it as partners and talking everything through together. Though one source did note that Taylor is taking the lead on most things, which makes sense. She's known for being a perfectionist and having a specific vision for everything she does. But Travis's involvement comes with its own complications. He's an NFL player, and his schedule doesn't exactly align with traditional wedding planning. The 2025 season is the final year under his current contract, and whether he retires or keeps playing will factor into choosing the wedding date. If he stays in the NFL, they're looking at off-season nuptials. If he retires after his 13th season, another connection to Taylor's lucky number, then they'd have more flexibility. Speaking of that engagement, let's talk about how it all went down because the details are genuinely incredible. On August 26, 2025, Taylor and Travis broke the internet with a joint Instagram post announcing their engagement. The carousel of photos showed them sharing tender moments, with Taylor showing off a massive diamond ring that sparkled in every shot. Travis had proposed in the middle of an elaborate floral arrangement that reportedly cost tens of thousands of dollars, transforming his backyard into an ethereal garden straight out of a fairy tale. There were roses everywhere, twinkling lights creating a magical atmosphere, and the whole setup looked like something from a romantic movie. Taylor's caption was perfect for them, announcing that your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married, a playful reference to their different worlds colliding. The post has since racked up nearly 38 million likes, making it one of the most liked posts in Instagram history. The ring itself shows how much thought Travis put into the proposal. He chose an old mine brilliant cut diamond from jeweler Kindred Lubeck. The engagement ring features an elongated center diamond flanked by smaller diamonds, all set in custom-engraved yellow gold. And here's a detail that romantics will love. The ring was designed to perfectly match the $27,300 Cartier watch Taylor was wearing when Travis proposed. That level of thoughtfulness suggests he's going to be just as detail-oriented with the wedding. But let's get back to the guest list situation, because it's becoming a real problem that's affecting every decision they make. Taylor stated during an appearance on the Graham Norton show that she didn't want the stress of having to cut names from the guest list. She explained that whittling it down meant having to evaluate your relationships with people, essentially ranking friendships, which sounds emotionally exhausting. So instead of trimming the list and potentially hurting feelings or creating drama, Taylor and Travis are considering expanding the venue options to accommodate everyone. Travis remains close with childhood friends from Cleveland and has an extensive circle of NFL teammates from multiple teams over his career. Taylor's squad alone, just her core friend group, could fill a small venue. Add in family members from both sides, industry colleagues from music and sports, collaborators from various projects, and friends from different eras of their lives, and suddenly you need a space that can handle several hundred people comfortably. That's where venues like Blackberry Farm come into the picture as serious contenders. It's a luxury retreat spread across more than 4,000 acres in the Great Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, and it's been featured in basically every high-end wedding publication imaginable. The rustic meets elegant aesthetic could genuinely appeal to Taylor, who owns multiple properties in Nashville and has deep roots in country music culture. The privacy factor is absolutely huge too. With that much land surrounding the property, you can create a completely secluded celebration where no drones or paparazzi helicopters can get anywhere close to getting photos. The entire property could be locked down with security, creating a bubble of privacy that's nearly impossible to find anywhere else. But even Blackberry Farm, with all its sprawling acreage, might not be enough if the guest list continues to grow at its current rate. Hence all the whispers about private island weddings. Richard Branson's Necker Island keeps coming up in conversations, and apparently his grandchildren are huge Swift fans, which could help with booking. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Ed Sheeran, one of Taylor's longtime friends and collaborators, revealed that he learned about their engagement on Instagram with the rest of the world. Ed Sheeran, the guy who's performed with her countless times, who she's called one of her best friends, found out via social media. Taylor kind of addressed this by joking that if there's a stage at her wedding, Ed knows he'll be on it. But if Ed Sheeran is getting the Instagram notification treatment, what does that say about the level of secrecy Taylor's maintaining? This whole situation reveals something deeper about Taylor's evolution as a person and as a celebrity. For years, especially early in her career, she was everywhere, constantly sharing her life, documenting relationships in painful detail through her music, letting fans deep into her world. Every breakup became an album. Every relationship was scrutinized and analyzed. Then came the backlash, the intense criticism, the public feuds, the feeling of being constantly under a microscope with millions of people judging every decision. She retreated significantly, became notably more private and protective of her personal life. The entire Reputation era was literally about dealing with public perception and reclaiming her narrative on her own terms. Now, as she's planning one of the happiest and most important days of her life, she's applying all those hard-learned lessons. She's not going to let media speculation or public pressure or fan expectations dictate how her wedding unfolds. She's doing it exactly her way, on her terms, and everyone else can find out when she's ready. Sources have shared insight into how Travis has changed Taylor. One insider said Taylor used to be super type A, but she's become more spontaneous. The armor is off, and she's trying to live a more unfiltered life. Over 2 years into dating him, Taylor is visibly lighter and laughing more. Travis gives her a fearless playfulness and the confidence to take up space unapologetically. That kind of relationship, where you can be completely yourself without judgment, is rare. And it might explain why Taylor feels comfortable planning a wedding that breaks all the traditional rules. The question everyone's asking now is whether Taylor can actually pull this off. Can someone that famous really keep a wedding secret until the last minute? History suggests it's going to be tough. Paparazzi are relentless. Guests talk. Vendors have employees. Someone's going to see something and put 2 and 2 together. The odds of keeping everything completely under wraps seem pretty low. But if anyone can do it, it's probably Taylor Swift. What we know for certain is that whenever the wedding happens, it's going to be absolutely stunning. Taylor has impeccable taste. The venue will be breathtaking. The flowers will be gorgeous. The dress will be iconic. The guest list will be a who's who of entertainment and sports. And somewhere in the middle of all that glamour, there will be two people who genuinely love each other, promising to spend their lives together. As for Selena, she'll get her moment. When that invitation finally arrives, when she finally learns all the details that have been kept secret, she'll be there. She'll probably cry during the ceremony because that's what best friends do. She'll give another speech, sharing stories about their friendship. She'll celebrate this milestone with Taylor the same way Taylor celebrated hers. The secrecy is temporary. The friendship is forever. So what happens next? We wait. We watch for signs. We analyze every public appearance for clues. We follow insider reports and take them with a grain of salt. And eventually, probably when we least expect it, Taylor Swift will post those wedding photos and the whole world will finally see what she's been planning in secret. Will Selena be in those photos, smiling and celebrating her best friend? You can count on it. And will we all be talking about this wedding for years to come? Without a doubt. Because this isn't just a celebrity wedding, this is Taylor Swift writing the next chapter of her own love story, and she's going to make sure it's exactly what she wants it to be, secrecy and all.